I need to tell the story. First of all, Matt called, and he had an issue about Port St. John. His students were studying some of the pollution areas, and I said, well, actually, we've got an agenda item tomorrow, and the agenda item, so put it into context of where Matt's coming from, is the consultants basically finished the work, and we got the work for the reason of seeing if there is a cause of action based upon, you can't go out and do a nuisance and hurt other people. And so Scott found a law firm in Washington, D.C. that does this, and so their purpose now is just to review the findings of the environmentalist to see whether it would lead to what we call a cause of action. It has the elements that would be needed if, in fact, it's not to file a lawsuit, not to hire them for a lawsuit, but just to have them look at from a legal perspective from people that have been in court on those issues. So Matt is a school teacher, and he had me down to his class one time, and they tore me up. So my revenge, Matt. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. He came in and spoke in front of my class, and it was a great opportunity for the kids to not only learn about their community, but also to start getting involved in it. And he did. He set off a wildfire out there. And I have my student with me that's the head of my community problem-solving club, which has 47 members.
You want to bring her forward, please?
She put on for the public. She was going to speak on some of the issues that we were going to talk about.
Okay, well, have her, okay, whenever, yeah.
This is Miss Jessica Fisher.
You know, it's very interesting that these type of things are going on in our schools. They're taking current issues and studying. But please, Matt, I apologize.
No, that's no problem. We're currently at Space Coast High School. I'm the head and founder of the Community Problem Solving Group, which is a district initiative from Brevard County Schools, which looks into problems in the community, and then they turn around and they try to solve them or make recommendations for them. Now, what we've done is she's going to go ahead and speak in a little bit about what the club's done and everything else, but I wanted to speak specifically on the big one that we're working on right now, which is the effects of the power plants on our young students in the community. I want to tell you guys a couple of quick what basically we see, and then I'll hand it over to her. Basically, we're a community problem solving, which is 47 members at Space Coast High School, and we've done a variety of different projects. But the one thing that I looked into, and which burns me up every day, is the fact that Port St. John could be a model for power plant emission problems. And I'll go ahead, and she's going to tell you a little bit about what we found and everything else. On the way away from, when I'm leaving school and I'm driving out, the stacks are right on Fay Boulevard. If you're driving away from the school, you can see them. And they're just a plume of smoke coming, and you watch it, and on certain days, it's coming right over the top of the school. We see multiple stacks from the Stanton power plant, which is west on 528. We have the one that's Oleander, which is south between 520 and 524. And then we have the two on US 1. So we're right in the middle of everything. I also coach the football team, and I see kids. We have huge amounts of asthma problems. But on days where they're really pumping, our football players are out of breath. They're on their knees. We have asthma problems. My girlfriend's the athletic trainer. She runs out with their asthma. I mean, I've never seen as many inhalers as on a football team ever. I run in the mornings, and as I'm running, on certain days when it's humid outside, it drops the stacks. They get in, and it tastes like an ammonia. You can almost taste it in the air. I have interviews and stuff like that we've been conducting. My neighbor's been there for 27 years, and he's written the EPA. He's done a bunch of different things. He's given us all that information. He's taken pictures of days when the smokestacks, when the humidity hits and it's just about to rain and it comes down, and it'll fill his entire house. And we have photographs of it, of smoke covering the entire area. And the problem is that this has been going on for so long. And that's why to look into it is a great thing, and we're in support of it. But I just wanted to say that I support Mr. Goodstein and everything, this opportunity to do so. And she was going to give a kind of a speech on what we found.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jessica Fisher, and I'm the leader of the community problem solving. And as he said, it's a club that gets students involved, and we have 47 members. And some of our other projects that we're doing we're cleaning up Fay Park and getting a different energy source to keep the lights on longer, to quit the drug problems and stuff and get rid of those. And we've had 60 parking curbs donated to our school, so there's no parking in the streets anymore, so all students have a parking spot. and we got computers donated for low-income families, and we're giving those away to them. But our biggest project right now is the power plants, and I was in his American history class when he came in 2 years ago, and ever since then I've been interested in it, and Mr. Susan came to me with the problem, and we started researching it. And in the American Journal of Critical Care for Respiratory Diseases, we found that the emissions from power plants create upper respiratory disease, asthma, and cancer, and they play a big factor in student absences. And at Space Coast, we have the highest absent rates in the county, the highest asthma rates, and many cases of upper respiratory diseases. 5 faculty members have died in the last 2 years in our community, and recently, in the past month, we've had a student, Kyle Davis. He's been diagnosed with cancer, and he was a football player and a baseball player. And my neighbor across the street, he was a youth, and about 6 years ago, he died from cancer, and it was a rare kind of cancer, and someone else in Port St. John had it the same year. So our main goal is just to address the problem and find alternative solutions or find a way to get rid of it, and we just want the help of the commission as much as we can.
Okay, let me, we've had this, probably the best group in the entire country from Cambridge, Mass. Harvard professors, the ones that testify in all the big cases. What you have here, I have really not, until Matt called just the other day, known that's there, but I think it's critical that that information be provided them rapidly. And Matt, I can touch base with you, but I do need to get on the phone with Cambridge and the people with this information. It may be information that's redundant, but then again, it may be something that's significant, and so if you would take my call, I would like to do that. Scott, there's just something there.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that we get the video of this portion of the proceeding and email it right up to them, because I don't think they've heard this. I know that they're aware of the fallout. They're not aware of the smoke problem.
You'd be amazed at the level of conversation that they have, and so if you got a couple of students, we can arrange for a conference call, and we could do it at my office. But I would like to do it as rapidly as possible, because the reason we're hiring the attorney is to review the report from a legal perspective, because the scientific perspective, we've been under the belief that it's coming to an end, but maybe there's something here that we need to explore, so we'll be in touch.
Can I say,
please, go ahead.
Just to follow up with what she was saying? The thing is that it's hard as a teacher. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's hard as a teacher to look these kids in the eyes every day and not do something. Mr. Lang said when I was interviewing him, my neighbor, he said one day, he goes, I don't want to look at my granddaughter who was walking across the floor when I was interviewing him and see that she had a strange form of cancer, which is sprouting up, what she didn't, and he says, I don't want to not have done something. And what she touched on with Kyle Davis, the whole JV baseball team shaved their heads because he had to go through chemotherapy. This goes deeper than just a couple of kids and stuff like that. It's galvanizing the community. And we have at Space Coast the highest absentee rates in the entire county, the highest asthma rates in the entire county. It's not a coincidence that this is good. I mean, it's there. It's not like, oh, there's something else happening. It's there, and we're sitting on top of it. So we will help you.
Matt,
yes, sir.
We've looked at medical issues. We've looked
sir.
at, they've been testing the mission, but the information you provided from the high school is a new approach. And so
yes,
it's very, very good.
Our report comes together totally in form and everything. It's going to be a 6-page report, which is brought out next Tuesday.
Well, we need. But
we can talk about it.
We need to get you on the phone as quickly as possible.
We can do it tomorrow if you wanted.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Scott.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Okay. And again, we've recognized our attorneys for their special effort in this regard. When you go to these areas, you're in an area of law that is new and different, and under our staff recognitions, we've recognized Scott and Christine for their reaching out. So while we're hiring an attorney outside of our staff, we do appreciate the degree of inquisitiveness and effort they've made. Yes, Mary.
I just want to take a moment also and commend the school for putting together this club. I think it's an excellent idea. And after you get this all solved, call me. I got some things too.
Thank you, Matt. Our next one is D5.